Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it is your first time here. My name is Erin and I make videos about my sewing experiences. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my January 2025 makes, and I'm also going to be giving some updates for other crafty things that I am going to be working on all year long. The first thing I finished up this year, I think I actually finished it on January 1st, was a project I had started in December, and it is the patchwork duffel from Knot and Thread Design. I did it using Ruby Star Society fabrics. It was a swap that my local quilt shop participated in at the end of the summer or the beginning of the fall, and I finally got it made up. So I did make that. It's a great little duffel bag. I did add the optional carrying strap. Well, it's not optional. On the Knot and Thread website, there is a blog post for how to add a carrying strap. The instructions for that are not in this pattern, but they are on the Knot and Thread website, and you do have to purchase some extra materials for that. Overall, great, very easy pattern to follow. It's very straightforward. I will say I had one little complaint with it, and that is the fact that it has you trim the corners of your pockets on the end. You can see it here. So you curve those corners, and it specifies here on page 4 to use a 2.5 inch circle to round all 4 corners of each end panel. Got it. Great. I was hunting all over my sewing room, all over the house, sort of. I'm being dramatic, but I was hunting for something that was 2.5 inches in diameter so that I could get that circle correct. On page 6, there's a template. So bad on me, I guess, for not reading all the way through the instructions. Other than that, it was a great sew. I will say it was definitely an example of compounding errors for me. I was not super accurate in a lot of the things I was doing because I was just I just wanted the result. I was not fully invested in the process, I guess. So by the time I got to the end, the attachment of those end panels to the body of the bag was sketchy at best. I mean, it's well sewn. It'll last. There are just a lot of pleats around the ends for me. But I have already used it multiple times. It is really good. It fits a lot of stuff. When I was making the panel, I didn't feel like it would fit that much. I was like, is this the mini? Am I accidentally making the mini? Because there is a separate pattern for a mini version. And I was not. It is a pretty good sized duffel bag. It is very deep, so I will say I recommend using it for like shorter trips or not filling it up all the way if you are going somewhere where you won't be able to fully unpack. I do like to go places and fully unpack and, claim my space, spread my stuff out, but I took it on a week and a half long trip where I was not able to do that, and digging through it was awful. The next trip I took it on was one night, and I had a lot of stuff because I was running a race. So I had all of my normal clothes plus all of my running stuff. And that actually this was a perfect size for it. Probably could have fit a little more and been fine. You can make a one fabric version, as you can see here on the cover. So you can do the scrappy patchwork option or the one fabric version. Also, you can use any sort of batting. I used Soft and Stable, which gives it really nice structure and makes it kind of hold its own, even if it's not all the way full. So, great pattern. I do recommend it. Just know there's a template. There's a template right there for you. The next 2 things I made were an activewear set. The top was the Onyx Sports Bralette from Sinclair Patterns, and the bottoms were the Cavallo leggings from Green Style. I talked about these some more in a Friday Sews 2 weeks ago, so I'll make sure I link that video below if you are interested. I made them from a Serge fabric shop, ATY, which is their version of Supplex. And ATY in ink. Navy, I believe, is the color name. Sizes. I made a size G in the Cavallo leggings. I chose to make the 7/8 length. I really like that length in leggings. I don't love when they come all the way down to the ankle. For some reason, I need my ankle to be free when I'm working out. I don't know. It's just how I feel. I also did the ultra high waistband, and I would just do the high waistband next time. I was questioning this decision when I made it because I've made another pair of Green Style Patterns leggings. I made the stride tights. I've made the stride tights a couple of times. I've made them as shorts twice, and then, yeah, I think just as shorts. 2 or 3 times. But I did the ultra high waist the first time, and it's pretty high. I don't know why I thought it would be different on the Cavallo leggings, but I'm just so worried about making the waistband too low rise. I used my cover stitch when I was making both of these items for the activewear set. I did it as a reverse cover stitch so that the chain looper was on top, and I really like how that looked, and it was a fun way to play around with my new machine. For the Onyx sports bralette, I made a size 14 regular. Sinclair Patterns is really cool in the fact that they have petite, regular, and tall options in, I think, all of them. I did the full back on the back of the sports bra, and I really don't know why I did that. I think I talked about this in the Friday sews after I had made these items, but I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I didn't do a racer back. So I will definitely do the racer back next time. Not that the full back bothers me, I just want as little fabric stuck to my body as possible when I'm sweaty and exercising. I love how the bottom band is attached. There's no raw seam there. Having that enclosed is really nice. I actually wore the sports bra for the marathon I ran this month, and it was good. I did chafe a little bit, but it is a very far distance, and I was wearing my hydration vest over all of my clothing, and that does seem to increase my chafing issues on the top half. So it did really well though. It did better than the sports bra I've worn on any of my other long runs or wore during my marathon in December. So an improvement is always good. That is it for my activewear set. I really liked both of those patterns. I will definitely be making the Onyx sports bralette again. I will probably be making the Cavallo leggings again. I'm not like rushing to make them because of something I'll talk about a little later, but I really do like that sports bra. My next make is a very exciting one. I have had these cut since September of last year, and they are on my Make 9, so I get to check them off of my Make 9 grid. They are the Vogue 2051 barrel-legged pants. I made View B, which has these really cool angular pockets. And then the backs are also really cool. It has darts, and then you stitch the darts down, but you don't top stitch along the seam, you top stitch the folded fabric. I am going to do a full review on these pants because there's kind of a lot to talk about, I think, and a lot of people expressed interest in them. I do really like them. I need to make some more adjustments to the rise, definitely the back rise, possibly also the front rise, but in my defense, I made a toile, but that was in September. Then I went on vacation for 2 weeks in Europe and then had 2 holidays and have been running a ton. So I've also been eating a ton, and I definitely have gained weight since I made that toile. So I don't know how much that plays into it or how much it's just a fit issue period that I need to address. I don't know. I'm gonna wear them some more and see. So far I've only worn them half a day, so I need to wear them some more and really feel them out. I do like them. They're made of a green corduroy that I bought at Hobby Lobby. It was cheap. I just kind of wanted to make them and see how they would look, and I really wanted them to be in green. I do think I will make these again. I'm not rushing to make them. I don't tend to make things again back to back, but I will make these again as long as this kind of look is in fashion. I'm not like the most on-trend stylish person, but I do want to try to kind of be on trend if they're trends that I like, I guess. I think I like the style on me. And yeah, I would want to make these again. I would want to make them in a not textured fabric, maybe just in a denim, because all of the top stitching details are really cool, and there are some cool things going on with these pants that are just totally lost in the corduroy. But I will talk about that more when I do my full review on the pants. The J. Clara leggings are my last completed make of the month. They are really cool. There's no front seam. There are only 3 pattern pieces, and you only cut 4 pieces total. I am actually teaching a class using these leggings in a couple of weeks, so I wanted to make them up and also test out this fabric that I got from knitfabric.com. I placed my first order ever with them in January and got the fabric. This is just a cotton spandex jersey in black jersey, I will say. I really like this cotton spandex jersey. I finished these leggings, I put them on and did a squat, and my husband said he couldn't see anything, so that's pretty good. The construction of the leggings was very, very easy. I did it in an hour and a half, and that was not using my serger. I used the J-Lee technique for sewing knits without a serger so that I could just do it myself, help students, because one of the things I want to highlight in this class is that you don't have to have a serger to sew knits, even if they have negative ease. So I did it all using the J-Lee technique. You're probably not gonna be able to see it on this black, but yeah, it took me just under an hour and a half, and that was like me just kind of taking my time and sewing it on my machine. I think if I used my serger instead, it easily would have been like 45 minutes, maybe. There are still parts that you have to use your machine for, like attaching the elastic and then hemming, which I didn't do on my cover stitch because, again, I wanted to show them what it looks like if you make something entirely on your regular sewing machine. For the elastic, you can see it's really wonky. Actually, I haven't steamed any of these final seams yet. It's pretty wonky. I did not use the typical elastic that I use for activewear. The typical elastic that I use for activewear is this clear elastic that's really pliable, really flexible. There are some that are sold that I have found at like Joann's and Hobby Lobby that are clear elastic, but they're very rigid in comparison. So this flexible elastic is what I use for my activewear. I chose not to use that for these leggings because I just wasn't sure with them being cotton jersey and like the sizing and stuff. I don't know. I think that clear elastic is just fine, but I wanted something that just made me feel a little more secure, because sometimes I do feel like cotton jersey can grow, and if it's growing in leggings and you have to keep pulling them up and stuff, it's really annoying. This way I could control that a little better, because this clear elastic is not to hold things up. Generally, it's more to help the seams maintain their shape, and that's how it's been explained in some patterns I've sewn and how I've seen it in practice. Whereas this elastic, this is a regular knit elastic, I had some black elastic, is for like holding things up. So we'll see. I have not worn them. I'm not going to wear them. I actually plan on taking these into the quilt shop that I teach classes at so that we can hang it up and put a little sign saying like, sew this on your own machine in class with me. I really like them. I did try them on briefly, just to like make sure no seams were gonna pop, because like I said, I wanted to test out this J-Lee technique, which reading it, I knew it would work, but you just want to make sure, right, before you like pass along the word to other people. I am going to make some in activewear fabric sooner rather than later, because I do think I really like these. So that was my very last make. I squeaked these in on the 31st of January. These were my final completed make of the month. Now I have some longer term things that I want to show you updates on. Part of my Make 9 this year is to do the Murder Mystery Quiz. I have, I think, like a week and a half left to sign up if you are interested. This year's is Murder at Machu Picchu. So at our first block on the second Wednesday of January, we should be getting another block in about a week and a half. And this was that first block. You also get a chapter to read that introduces the characters and is telling this murder mystery. And if you send them a picture of your completed quilt block or post it on social media, you can get a bonus clue that is supposed to be helpful. So far, I have no clue of what's going to happen because it's month one. We just were introduced to the characters and stuff. So I finished this the day after I got the pattern. It helped that I was not here with all of my other projects to distract me, but I am hoping to do the same thing this month to get it done by the end of the weekend, probably. The patterns come out on the second Wednesday of every month, so I'm hoping by that following Saturday, Sunday to have the quilt block done. Next, I have a cross stitch pattern on my Make 9, and I did get that started this month also. This is the Winter House Trio from Waxing Moon Designs. This is where I'm at so far. I have not worked on it much. I worked on it a little bit when we had some snowy days, but I should probably kind of focus on it a little more if I want to get the whole thing done by the end of the year. Cross stitch just takes a lot of time, you guys. You do not get results quickly. It's definitely more about the process than the product. I have a knitting project on my Make 9 and I cast it on. We had some snowy days. It's a sweater. I just had to, right? Like, it was cozy. I needed to be working on something cozy. So this is the framed sweater by Andrea Mowry. And I picked it because it has basically quilt blocks. It's color work that looks like quilt blocks. It's so hard to show because I don't have a ton of the color work done. So there you can see my quilt blocks kind of starting to form. I love how, well, I think I love how it's looking. When I first did the bottom couple of rows of color work, I had so many regrets. I was like, I hate this. This is gonna be awful. I don't like how it looks. It's so Halloween-y because it was just this like light orange with the black. But I have a lot more other colors that are gonna be coming into play. This is like falling apart. I don't wind my yarn and stuff. I know I'm supposed to, but I have friends that are like really, really good knitters and they're probably cringing as they watch this. I'm so sorry, you guys. But I have a lot of other fun colors coming up. This is so fun. The color work on this is so fun. I'm also working on a t-shirt. I'm at the part where it's in the round, so I'm just doing stockinette in the round, and it is striped. I get to switch to a different color, but that is definitely my like zone out and not focus on anything, or like zone out while I'm watching TV project, whereas this one is one that, I mean, I can zone out. I don't know, this one's just a little more interactive. It's really fun. It feels like you're making progress faster. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I love the yarn. This yarn is Chroma from Knit Picks. That's what these two are. I don't know that I love how fuzzy they are. Do you see? I don't love it. It's kind of annoying. And the more you handle it, obviously, the more those fibers are breaking apart. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna like how it looks overall. I told myself I would finish the first block. So do the first block all the way around and see how I felt about it. I'm just over halfway. And I do think I'm gonna keep going with these yarns. I do think I'm gonna like the result. Finally, a knitting project that was not on my Make 9, but is something I'm gonna be working on all year long, is my temperature blanket. So temperature blanket is just some sort of craft. People do crochet, knitting, cross stitch that shows the temperature in some defined place for every day of the year. I am doing the highs where I wake up and where my husband wakes up. So this is what I have so far. It clearly needs to be blocked. And I messed up a little bit here. This was my first time doing intarsia. So switching colors mid-row like that. So there's definitely some learning to be had. But yeah, I'm really loving it. So you can see here, my husband and I were in different places and then we've been together for the rest of the month. And I am just loving it. I think I'm not necessarily enjoying the process of it, but I love the final result. So I'm doing a block, kind of like a calendar block for each month. This is January's. It needs to be blocked. And then when I get February's done, I can seam them together. And that way I can weave in ends and seam them and stuff as I go. Yeah, very, very excited. That's everything that I have been creating this month. In terms of just like fun life stuff for the month of January, we got to experience snow twice. That is notable because we live on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi here in the southern United States. We do not get snow here. I've only lived here for a year and a half, but people who have lived here their entire life were telling me, like, I never thought I would see this. We got so much snow. We also saw snow when we were visiting my family up in the Dallas area early in the month. But that was, I mean, it was snow, but you could still see the grass poking through. It was not super crazy. Here in Mississippi, we got like 7 inches at my house. There was a ton of snow. I will insert some pictures so that you can see the like winter wonderland we were dealing with. It was really fun. My daughter and I went out and played in it a couple of times the first day, and then she was kind of over it. In her defense, I don't have snow gear for her. I don't. And even though we had just dealt with the snow in Texas, I did not think I was going to be getting 7 inches of snow at home a week and a half later. I did not even cross my mind. So the poor kid was like bundled up underneath her rain suit that I made last year, wearing rain boots and a bunch of socks. And then she had to use socks as mittens at one point until a really kind friend was like, please put your child in these mittens, and gave us some mittens that fit her. So, but that was fun. The second day, she did not want to go outside. She was like, it's cold. I don't want to go out. So I brought some snow in for her to play with, and she really, really enjoyed that. My husband did unfortunately have to work during that time. They shut down most businesses in most places, but he works in healthcare and he had to go in to work for those days. but it was nice. We like just cuddled a lot on the couch. Honestly, we watched so much TV, like so many movies, which is not something that we do a lot with her. So she was just like, yes, TV. That's probably why she didn't want to go out the second day. Now that I think about it, she was like, no, we're gonna stay in and watch some more Toy Story, Mom. That's what happened. But it was fun. It was really nice. And it was cool for her to get to experience that. Also in January, I ran another marathon. It was my third overall, my second of this like training season. So it went so much better than my one in December. I signed up for it as kind of a like redemption marathon for myself. I ran almost 10 minutes faster than the one in December. And that's not because I got 10 minutes fitter in a month. It's because the conditions were just that much better. So I was really glad I did it. It was a really fun race. It was in Baton Rouge. It was the Louisiana Marathon, and the vibes there were immaculate. Like, people were at the end of their driveways starting early in the morning. I think the race started at 7. They were out there like cheering us on at 7. People would set up ad hoc aid stations all around, and like full up aid stations. They would have like pickle juice and all kinds of like energy gels and bars and Vaseline for chafing and Powerade. Like, they put a lot of effort and money into this. They had great music going, and it was really, really fun. I would definitely recommend running the Louisiana Marathon or half marathon in Baton Rouge. It was a good time. So what do you guys think of my makes for January? What do you think of my other crafty projects and my progress on all of them? What are you up to? Have you completed anything? If you are also doing a Make 9 or have some sort of goals set up for yourself, we are 1 month in. It felt like a very long month, but also it's weird that we're already in February. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time, a great start to your February, and I will see you again soon. Bye.